Yeah, Joy, there is much to do before the kiddos head back to school, from making sure the air conditioning works in all the classrooms to filling critical teacher shortages to getting final approval on the district's nearly $2 billion budget. Here is the latest update tonight from MSCS officials. Awards and accolades at the Memphis-Shelby County School Board meeting Tuesday night as district leaders prepare for a year unlike any other, with a possible state takeover looming.
Our students deserve more than governance restructuring masquerading as academic strategy.
MSCS will present its amended final budget closer to $1.8 billion than the previous $1.7 billion to the Shelby County Commission, its funding body, on August 10th. Additional grant money bumping up that total. MSCS board members say the county's financial troubles, taking out a $125 million loan to pay the bills until property taxes are collected, won't overshadow the new school year.
It's a major concern, but we trust the county commissioners to do their due diligence, to submit their budget on time to the comptroller.
Projected enrollment for the 2026-27 school year, more than 103,000 students attending 212 schools. The district getting close to filling all 5,734 teaching positions.
At this time, I think we're only short a little bit under 200 at this point. And so we're working on making sure that we get those positions filled as soon as possible.
During public comments, more than a dozen educators,
and I fully support public education for the students of Memphis-Shelby County,
expressed confidence in the elected school board to lead the largest school system in Tennessee. Superintendent Rod Richmond's advice to his staff as the lawsuit to stop the takeover moves through the courts is simple and positive.
What I'm telling the team to do is for us to control the controllable, and the controllable is to just focus on teaching and learning every day and having warm and inviting, safe, conducive environments for children.
And the HVAC system's working well?
As of today, they all are.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
Thank you.
it. Have a great school year, sir.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, Southwind High Principal John Bush spoke to the board tonight, praising Superintendent Richmond's leadership. That is significant because Bush was one of the loudest critics of the previous superintendent, Dr. Marie Fagans. And Liz Marable, head of the United Education Association, also addressed the board. She wanted them to know how much educators appreciated and enjoyed the new teacher orientation program. Thumbs up all across the board. Despite the threat of takeover, those in charge of MSCS are taking care of business. Reporting live outside district headquarters tonight, I'm Joyce Peterson. Joy, back to you in the studio.